Hey Vlad, it's Reese at Pedestal Source.
How's it going, Vlad? Henry here with graphics.
I got Henry here beside me. He's our graphics guru. He's going to kind of walk you through the basic process here. The first step, we didn't record it because it took a minute, was to get your pedestal really clean. We use vinegar. You can use like a rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol rather. You can use Windex if you want to. Henry, what, you just use vinegar?
Yeah, we have a mix of vinegar and some dish soap.
Okay.
That works really well to clean the glue. You shouldn't have any glue on your pedestal when you receive it.
Since his pedestals are in his possession already.
Okay, yeah.
So
definitely
Windex, isopropyl, vinegar, anything along those lines, just to get them real good and clean, dust free. And then I'm gonna let Henry kind of take it from here.
All right. So when you receive your vinyl, this is kind of what it's going to look like. It's going to come in this tube, and then I'll have marked it, so you'll see a T for top, and then a B for bottom. That will just help you orient the vinyl so that you know which direction to place it. And then yours is a little bit more specific because it has a door, so maybe via email we can describe which side you would like to start on so that all the seams line up properly, but we can get to that later. All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just extending the vinyl out over this corner because I'm going to put double stick tape underneath this vinyl to hold it in place before I actually stick it. So I know that that's a good length, so I'm going to tape my roll where it is. If I can find my yellow tape. No, I need my yellow.
Oh, you're
it's normally up there, but I'm going to go find one.
Yep. Okay. Sorry, intermission. Gotta go find the right tape. There we go.
And we're back.
That's the joy of real-time videos.
And a shared workplace, right? Yeah, thank you. And then with this, you're really going to want to make sure that the tape is nice and secure on this roll, because in a little bit here, we're going to have the full weight of the vinyl relying on this piece of tape. So just make sure it's real stuck down because you don't want to push it over this edge and the whole thing flops out. The cleaner we can keep our vinyl and our surfaces, the better outcome we're going to have. Okay, so now that we have that lined up, we're going to take some double stick tape, and I'm just going to cut maybe like 1.5 inch strip to place on both of the corners. And I don't want it all the way against the corner. I want it in about 1/4 inch from the top and the side, which you'll see why in just a second here. I can already tell this is going to be a challenging one because the donut in the bottom.
Oh yeah, it's making it wobbly.
Yeah, so it's going to wobble on me a little bit, but we'll make it work. You might want to come around the other side for this next step.
Oh yeah.
All right, now that we have our double stick tape applied, we're going to peel the cover. All right. Now this part takes a little bit of finesse. So if you don't get it on your first few tries, that's totally okay. I would just keep trying until you do. But pretty much what we're going to do here is we're going to line up the vinyl where it's supposed to go on the pedestal. What I typically do, which this will be the same with your vinyl, I always extend the vinyl 1/2 inch in every direction. So if this pedestal is 20 by 20, the actual dimensions of the vinyl is going to be 21 by 43 because it's 42 inches tall. Although that's not the right height, but yeah, you get the idea. So in that case, what we want to do is extend our vinyl 1/2 inch over all the edges. So as you can see right here, we have 1/2 inch of vinyl hanging over the top, and then we should have 1/2 inch on the back. Yep. You're welcome to use a tape measure to align this or a piece of 1/2 inch material, whatever works best. Personally, I eyeball it. So yeah, I'll just get down. I look at 1/2 inches all day, so I feel confident that this is a 1/2 inch. And now that I have it placed where I want, obviously it's going to move if I just move my hands and drop it. So what I like to do is I really slowly work my hands in. to make sure that this vinyl is not going to move on me. And then you're going to want to place your hand towards the center kind of and push all that excess vinyl and air off to that double stick tape that we placed earlier. So as you can see, I just got that one side stuck. And then here's that second side. Nice and stuck down. Now our vinyl isn't going to move on us. And then always verify your measurements after you've stuck it, because there's a very high chance that when you're trying to hold it still, you're not maybe doing that to the best of your ability. So we're just going to check real quick. Looks like a 1/2 inch to me. Awesome. Yeah, looks great. So yeah, now we can go for it. That's one of the tricky parts. So once you're done with that, it'll be a lot better. All right, let's switch sides. Okay. At this point, we no longer need to rely on this tape. We have the double stick tape holding the vinyl in place. So I'm going to pull this back. And try your best to use nothing with really strong adhesive on your vinyl. Otherwise, you're going to be pulling the vinyl off of the backer when you go to remove your tape. So nothing too crazy. All right. And now that I've rolled this up, we're not relying on our yellow tape to support it. So I'm just going to throw a new piece of yellow tape just so it doesn't move. Another thing you can do too with these vinyl rolls, sometimes you know, they start rolled up, but over time when you're working with them and messing with them, the rolls will get unraveled and they'll become quite large and a lot more difficult to hold on to when you're wrapping it around. So what I like to do is I'll place both of my fingers on the inside of the roll and I'll pull back, and that tightens my roll up, and then I'm able to roll it back up. It's a lot more manageable when it's smaller like this. And then as you can see, a lot less for me to have to tape. Although just unravel a little bit of it. All right, now that we have that held in place, we're gonna stick our first side down. So at this point, you're gonna need scissors to cut the backer where you need, and then a squeegee to apply the actual vinyl.
What's our squeegee made out of?
Our squeegee is made out of microfiber cloth on top of a piece of 1/8 inch MDF. We have plenty of real squeegees, but we use them so often that putting microfiber on a cloth will work great.
Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. Just something we're gonna, as you'll watch in a minute here, he's gonna press it out so the bubbles all go, you know, towards the direction that we're moving in. So some form of squeegee to push that out. Ours is a homemade MDF board with a microfiber cloth. Do you use rubber ever, or is that too hard?
You don't want to use it. You want to use something that is going to slide easily.
Okay. So don't use a real squeegee, like a rubber squeegee.
Yeah.
Make something out of like a microfiber, non-scratching.
Because this overlam that we put on top of the vinyl is very grippy with rubber, so you don't want to scrape it or pull up the texture. Okay. So at this point, you also really want to make sure your squeegee is clean. Everything in your tool chest should be clean when you do something like this. So. All right. And I always triple check just to make sure our surface is clean, because once it's stuck, it's a lot more difficult to peel it up and go back. So we really just want to make sure the surface is nice and clean before we apply. And then what I do is I fold all the material over where we have it rolled up. It makes it a little easier to peel if you're bending the backer and not bending the vinyl. And then you won't get any creases in the material. All right. As you can see, we separated the vinyl from the backer. And then we don't need to peel it all the way. Usually my rule of thumb is about half of the pedestal face at a time, at least when we're sticking the first portion. And then I'm just running my scissors along the backer, cutting the backer. And you can trash that. All right, and now for the fun part, we're gonna be applying the sticky part to our pedestal. So you're gonna wanna, it's kind of hard to explain, but you don't want too much tension. You just wanna make sure that you are and then I'm starting with the squeegee on the portion that still has backer, and I'm pushing that into the portion that does not have backer, because we want to make sure that it's equidistant from where we put our double stick
You
tape.
can kind of see the edge on it there with the glare.
And then you always want to work from the center out. If you think about it, like trying to squeeze an air bubble out from under the vinyl, that kind of helps get an idea of what you should be doing. And I work about anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches at a time, at least for this first portion. Once you move on to the later sides, you can apply a lot more at a time. But we really just want to make sure this sticks nicely and is nice and even. All right, that is step 1 completed. And then also it's always great to verify, just to make sure that we still have a nice 1/2 inch at the top and a 1/2 inch on the side. As you can see, that looks like a nice 1/2 inch overhang to me. Same with the bottom and the other side.
Glad you can see kind of right here in that glare line where the backer is still on this component on this side,
Right.
and off on this side. So this part is now stuck, and this part is still free to work with on this side. So
All right, and then our next step is we need to.
you make a cut and then come back to finishing it. I know we're over 11 minutes, almost 12 minutes right now. So I don't want to bore you to death. But is this a good place to cut for a minute?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be right back.